Fastball, 0-1.
Who do you like in that U.S.-China basketball game?
I'll take U.S. I'll give you 2 points.
Oh, what a pal.
Well, China probably has a height advantage, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, right. Spud Webb ought to join that team just to...
Foul away, up this way.
Of course, you never know. The U.S. government may declare that kids that go to college can't participate either.
At this point, is there a deadline on it, on the boxing? Whether they might?
I think it's passed.
Well, hit to left. That is back toward that wall. It's out of here, Bob Horner. Number 14 for the captain. Standing O for Bob Horner, who makes it 1-0.
A fastball riding in, boy, when he's got that short stroke and he got out in front and ripped it over the wall. His 50th run driven in. 14th homer.
Now Ken Griffey with a 16-game hitting streak. 10 of them with the Yankees. 1 ball, no strike. Thomas is on deck. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on hit to first. Nice play. Galarraga flips to his pitcher just in time. Griffey robbed of a double. Andres Galarraga with a great play.
He really did make a good play here. Then had a little indecision as to whether or not he was going to take it himself. But they got the play. It's a big game for the Braves. Win this, it's a 7-3 and very successful homestand. A 6-4 homestand is, yeah, you know.
Put a little heat on San Francisco, too. Here's Andres Thomas. Pitch is high, 1-0. Thomas, who was hurt last Monday, starting his first game since then, hits it to short. Brooks to first. 2 down. Now Ozzie Virgil. Benedict caught yesterday. Virgil at 212, 11 homers, 30 RBI. Jim Acker acquired for Joe Johnson. Will be 28 in September. He had won 2, lost 4 with Toronto, ERA 4.35. Been used mostly out of the bullpen. The Braves need some help in middle relief in particular. Acker started 5 games. Alexander was 5-4 as a starter. ERA 4.46. He had 3 complete games in 17 starts. Acker, as I mentioned, used to be in the Braves system. Down low, 2-1. Skip Carey and Ernie Johnson with you from Atlanta.
Didn't the Braves file a tampering or grievance of some kind against Toronto on the way they signed Acker?
I believe they did. And I think I know some of the particulars. Down low, 3-1. It seemed that someone from the Toronto organization might have had Acker throw a little bit for him. That was the accusation, to see how his arm was, because Acker at that time had some arm problems, and they felt that, I guess he's sound enough to draft, so they drafted him, I believe, for $25,000 and kept him.
And the guy responsible for that was the then Toronto manager, Bobby Cox.
3-1. Bounce to short. That's it for the Braves, but they pick up a run on a home run by Bob Horner. We go to the third, 1-0 Atlanta.
At Delta, we could talk about our airplanes, some of the best maintained, most modern birds in the sky, or our schedules, over 1,500 flights a day worldwide. or our flight centers, the airports of the future. But none of that is as important as people. And when it comes to the Delta professionals, the people who make Delta as great as it is, well, one smile is worth 1,000 words. Delta gets you there.
Oh, my arm.
Rub something on it.
I got Ben Gay. I don't want to go back to work smelling like Ben Gay.
Don't. Try sports cream. It smells nice and clean.
Does it work?
Sports cream has a strong, clinically tested pain reliever. It starts to penetrate immediately to relieve sore muscle pain.
No workout today?
Sure. I feel great. Why?
You, usually smell like Ben Gay.
Not anymore.
Sports Cream, the fast-acting pain reliever that smells great.
I've always been afraid of two things, flying and good cameras. But with this Canon T70, I'm not afraid. This push-button T70 is so easy to use, I can even get the tough shots, like backlit shots. Stop! Take action shots. Bang! I can even use a zoom. Boom!
The Canon T70, so advanced it makes the tough shots simple.
I'm fearless now. Ooh!
Enter the Canon photo contest and win an adventure trip on the Salmon River. Details at Canon dealers.
For the best sports team you can count on, turn to Sports Tonight, every night, beginning at 11:30 p.m. Eastern on CNN.
Welcome back to Braves baseball. The Expos came back, tied the game in the third inning, so we're now going to go to the fourth. Atlanta won, Montreal won. Skip and Ernie with the call.
We go to the fourth inning, and Hubie Brooks will lead it off. Brooks popped to second his first time. Aww. This guy's a good-looking hitter. 0-1 the count. Ernie Johnson, Skip Carey with you from Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. He was off speed on the breaking ball. Who wants it? Moreno. One away. We're zipping right along here. Tim Wallach stands it. Ozzie Virgil with the sign. Breaking ball inside, 1-0. 1-1 our score. Two balls, no strikes. When do you fellas televise again? Is it Sunday in New York? Or?
On a tape delay next Sunday, then the following Sunday on a tape delay. 6 o'clock it'll be aired, Eastern time.
See if they turn him loose. We'll never know. Second walk. The first one resulted in a run. So Wallach is aboard with one away. Andre Galarraga, the batter, he struck out his first time. 53rd strikeout of the year. Foul tipped the breaking ball, 0-1. Runner first, one down. In case you joined us late, run through the trades once again. The Braves got Doyle Alexander yesterday from Montreal, rather from Toronto, excuse me, for young Dwayne Ward. Didn't get the curve. 1-2. Then this morning, just within an hour of game time, the Braves acquired Jim Acker from Toronto for Joe Johnson. Acker will be used in long relief. Johnson will go into the Toronto starting rotation. Ward reports to their Syracuse Farm Club. And Doyle Alexander will start for the Braves on Wednesday. And to make room for Acker and Alexander, the Braves have optioned Steve Shields back to Richmond. Got him with a curveball. Strikeout number 3. Second time he's gotten Galarraga.
See where it was. He started it outside and then broke it down and it.
See if Wallach does some running here with Fitzgerald at the plate and 2 out. He could try to swipe one to get into scoring position. Fitzgerald 293, 6 homers, 33 runs driven in. Wallach a very short lead on that pitch.
Smith was tied with Dwight Gooden in strikeouts for 3rd place coming into today's game at 98. So now Smith in 3rd place by himself. Gooden not pitching today.
The big surprise is the leader in this strikeout derby.
And he was accused. Mike Scott was accused of tampering with a baseball, maybe using a little sandpaper, things of that nature. If he is, no one's caught him, but he's got 151 strikeouts to lead the league.
2-0. Swung, line, left center field. Murphy on the run. Can he cut it off? He cannot. Let's see if the run can score. It will. Wallach around 3rd, racing for the plate. Thomas's throw will be late. It's 2-1, Montreal. A double for Fitzgerald, who continues his great work for the bat. It looked like Murphy got a little bad break here. The ball took a bad bounce away from him.
Wallach coming around, scores standing up. For a big guy, he runs quite well. Now it's 2-1. And here's Newman.
Newman walked and scored their first run an inning ago. Breaking ball for a strike. Tell you what, we don't win this game today, I'm going to leave the country.
On Tuesday, huh?
That's right. Drilled deep left field. Back goes Griffey. He's running out of room. He looks up and waves goodbye. Newman's first home run. And just like that, it's 4-1. Where do they get these guys? His first career home run. Only the second he's hit in pro ball in 5 years.
The curveball. And we've said it often here. We don't want to take anything away from Newman's home run. But I wonder how many ballparks have given up the first home run in a major league player's career. It's happened here several times.
In 1982, he had a home run at Memphis. And now he hits one in Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Long time between drinks. 4-1 Expos. They've scored 3 here with 2 out. Thomas to his left glides over and throws out McGaffigan. The inning is over, but 3-run score on 2 hits. Nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Expos 4, Braves 1.
It takes know-how and time and more than a little pride to turn an idea into a premium quality product. There's no better example than our premium plug. And now, our new Taylor's Pride Leaf Chewing Tobacco. It's made from hand-selected tobaccos and the choicest flavorings blended just right. So taste the premium quality in new Taylor's Pride Leaf.
Valvoline presents a blockbuster of epic proportions. The Valvoline Oil Rush, starring Valvoline All Climate and Super HBO with Foregard, Racing Oil, and Valvoline Turbo 5. Excitement! A spectacular money-back offer. Action! Buy 12 quarts, get a $5 rebate from Valvoline. Romance? You'll love our special oils.
I laughed, I cried, I saved $5.
The Valvoline Oil Rush, now playing at a participating store near you.
Like many before, you came here asking for just one thing.
Sadowski, Shavolsky.
a chance.
Pronounce Shidwoski. You're gonna make it here, 'cause you make America work, and this bug's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste
Hey, Sid.
that says Budweiser.
This bug's for you.
Braves need to go to work here. Ken Oberkfell will lead off the bottom of the fourth. A young fan who could care less that it's 4-1 Montreal. Oberkfell singled his first time. Oberkfell, Murphy, and Horner in the fourth. 0-1 the count. Oh, and 2. Fastball over the outside edge. Missed with the breaking ball outside. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. A week from today, the Braves conclude a series in New York, then take 3 days off for the All-Star break. Then head back on the road to play at Montreal for a weekend, and then back home. Got him with a breaking ball. Oberkfell doesn't strike out often, but he did that time. And that is the first strikeout of the afternoon for Andy McGaffigan.
Going to try to find out just what his changeup is. It might be that split finger fastball, but whatever it is, he's picked up a new pitch. And he's won 5 games this year, and in his career, he has never won more than 3 games in the major leagues in one season. He was 10-18 in the majors coming in. He's got a turnabout going, Andy McGaffigan.
Murphy fouls the first pitch off. Murphy now 5 out of 17 in his career against McGaffigan. 4 of those hits home run. A ball and a strike is the count. The 1-1 pitch. It's 1-2. You fans who follow Braves baseball on TBS in the Southeast, don't forget the games that will not be televised will be aired live on the Braves 100+ station radio network. And a radio superstation, WSB, in Atlanta carries the game, 750 on your AM dial. Murphy strikes out. McGaffigan looks terrific. Ernie and Pete Van Weeren will have all those games for you. That'll look like a split finger fastball there. It really took a dip as it headed toward the plate. Here's Horner.
Skip, I went over and talked to Dave Van Horn. It's not a split finger fastball. It's that same changeup that Mario Soto throws in Cincinnati. They call it a circle changeup. It's kind of a palm ball effect where you kind of roll it off the end of your fingers.
Horner has hit another one. Deep left center, no doubt about it. Into the blue seats and then back out. It's 4-2. That's number 15, RBI number 51. Tape delay player, isn't he? There's Ken Griffey.
Horner's swing, and it went toward left center. There was no doubt about it. In fact, the outfielder just kind of turned and looked at it.
Oh, and 1 the count to Ken Griffey. 2 out. A run is in. Braves down by 2. Base hit, right center field. Sharply hit. 17 straight games Griffey has hit in between New York and Atlanta. Andres Thomas is the batter. You've got a feeling if you can hold him here that The Braves are eventually going to get to McGaffey. But you'll want to do it in the middle stages of the game if you can. If you get in the ninth, 8th and 9th, and that Jeff Reardon is lurking in the bullpen, he's tough. Close play at first base. Don't forget Bob Neal and the Goodwill Games follow Braves baseball programming here on TBS. Bob anchoring it with Nick Charles and Marianne Laughlin. Runner going. Foul to the screen. Boy, he had a good cut at a pitch up in his eye. I'm just a little upset with himself that he didn't nail that.
It's really surprising to me, too. Shortstop and second base from Montreal. No one's moved yet. They must have gotten mixed up on who was going to cover second. No one moved.
Griffey back easily. The Braves' next home game is Monday the 21st against the Phillies. Phillies in on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Open date Thursday, and then the Mets for the weekend. Didn't get the breaking ball. It's 0-2. Thomas at 301. He has 4 homers. He's driven home 13. The 0-2 pitch. Look out. Moved him off the plate. It's 1-2. McGaffigan looks in. Ozzie Virgil on deck. Pitch out. Snap throw to first. Griffey back all right. It's 2-2. Benny and Rosalia Herritz from Copenhagen, Denmark are here, seeing their first game. Two and two, the count to Thomas. The 2-2, runner going. Swung, fouled away. It stays a ball and 2 strikes. So Griffey returns to first base. Josh Marks, our director. Glenn Diamond, our producer here this afternoon, this evening. Throw to first, runner back. Him up on the infield. Who wants it? Tim Wallach. And the inning is over. 2 hits and a run. It came on Bob Horner's second home run of the game. A runner was left on base. We've completed 4, and the Expos lead Atlanta 4-2.
You are about to experience something
of taste that will stretch your imagination. A taste so smooth, so refreshing, so irresistible. Your only choice will be to catch it. Catch the wave. Coke.
Who Am I? Brought to you by Rolaids. Rolaids spells 100% relief. Who am I? They called me Yakta. I struck out just 33 times in 1953. I led the league in doubles in 1955.
Important medical news for sufferers of acid indigestion. Now, a new survey has revealed that doctors prefer the relief formula in Rolaids over the formula in Tums. Rolaids antacid medicine first consumes all the acid required to bring millions 100% relief, and then keeps on working to help keep your stomach trouble-free. Treat the pain and burn of excess stomach acid with serious medicine. Remember, doctors prefer the relief formula in Rolaids over the formula in Tums.
Who am I? I'm Johnny Logan, steady-hitting shortstop for the Boston and Milwaukee Braves.
We go to the fifth inning here, top of the order for Montreal. Webster, Wright, and Dawson will be the first three. 4-2 the score, Montreal on top. Horner has 2 Atlanta homers. Unfortunately, no one was on base. Webster has singled and doubled. He has driven in a run. Two balls, no strikes. Took something off that one. It's 2-1. Had him out in front on that as well. 2-2 is the count. Full count now, 3-2. Pitch, here it is. Lined into right field. On comes Moreno. Pulls up short. It's a hit. Crowd thought he should have tried for that one. I think his background on artificial turf caused him to pull up.
A soft line drive. He acted like it was on artificial, didn't he?
He's played so much there, it just might be an instinctive reaction. So Webster is 3 out of 3. George Wright has flied to center. He's been out on strikes. They got him picked off. Horner to set, wild throw into left field. And instead of a pickoff, Griffey throws to third. That's too late. There's now a runner at third and nobody out. There should be one out and nobody on. See who they give the air to.
Well, let's see. They got him picked off. That angle we can't tell. He might have been running right in the baseline. He can do that. And Horner trying to throw around him to hit the shortstop. Threw it away. It'd have to be an error on the throw.
Pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Wright. They give him a stolen base. And the error is on Horner, allowing the runner to go to third. I don't know, but what Hubbard and Thomas got confused as to who was covering. Line drive with the infield in. It's a base hit. It's 5-2. Wright's going to try. Here's the throw. He is safe. Aggressive base running by George Wright. It's a double. And it's a 5-2 ball game. With the infield back, Hubbard gets to that ball.
There's a base hit. The run scores easily. And Wright just never stopped running. The ball didn't get through. That's just what they call a hustling double. Dawson at the plate, and Expos can do nothing wrong in these last 3 games.
1 ball, no strikes. Activity will commence in the Atlanta bullpen. Jeff Dedman will go to work. Not a whole lot of options out there anymore.
Not today, anyway.
Deep right field. Back goes Moreno. He's at the wall. He looks up. It's gone. It's 7-2. Number 13 for Andre Dawson. Zane is really getting hammered from pillar to post here.
Well, I'll tell you what he did on that last pitch. He dropped down and throw a little sidearm curve, it appeared from here, to a right-handed batter. There he's down with a little sidearm curve, and Dawson just sitting there waiting for it and hammered it to right. It's 7.
Boy, have they done a number on us. That's the 8th hit of this game. Hubie Brooks, the batter. High and tight, 1 ball, no strikes. Brooks was not at all surprised by that fastball. 16 hits yesterday, 13 the day before. That's 29. 37 hits in the last 3 games, and we're only in the 5th inning.
They're still upset about the Mayor's Cup during spring training.
We would gladly return it.
Yes, we'll give it back. Well, they have the 2nd best record in the National League.
Richard Croker reminds me, and it's a good point. Zane Smith had thrown only 1 home run ball all year coming into this game in 133 innings. He may have just thrown another one. Griffey is at the wall. It's off the wall. Brooks is at second base. What is going on here?
Brooks could have had a triple if he'd have run right from home plate, but he thought that ball was out, and I did too. Ended up a double. He had a curveball. Here we look at it again. He's at second.
That's the 9th hit. I don't think I've ever seen him get hit this hard. Seen him get beat. That's going to be all. But, you know, there is the philosophy, Ernie, and I know you've been through it both on the good side and the bad side. Sometimes, even when you're pitching well, if a team gets hot, they're going to hit you.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Sometimes, and what I mentioned about Montreal, right now, the Expos going for their 3rd win in a row over the Braves. Everything they've tried in this series, except for the first game, has worked out for them. And when the Braves have made an error, they've taken advantage of it. In this inning, they took advantage of the throwing error, drawn in infield, base hit. So they have played well. You got to give them credit for that. The Braves are really in a cold spot right now.
And we'll be back to see if Jeff Dedman can turn it around right after this.
Who's got a truck that can do a ton of work? Toyota is who. Who's got the most payload of any small truck? Toyota is who. Who's got power? Who's got an electronically fuel-injected engine? And who's got a towing option that can handle 2.5 tons? Toyota is who. A 1986 Toyota 1-ton. And who else? Nobody.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Give me a light.
That's not correct, Steve. Don't just ask for a light beer.
Come on, give me a light.
You asked for it, Steve.
Bud Light!
Yes, Steve. Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste.
Don't just ask for a light.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light, Steve.
Eckerd System 2 photo processing gives you Kodak chemicals, Kodak paper and TechNet color control, and 2 prints of every shot. Is your store? Isn't it time you switch to System 2 only from Eckerd? Twice the prints, twice the film, twice the guarantee.
You stepped up to a 35mm camera because you wanted to get serious about your photography. Be sure the image you shoot is the image you get. Ultralab 35 from Eckerd, when you're serious about 35mm.
Tonight, the Goodwill Games continue with Men's World Championship Basketball and Day 1 of the Decathlon. Turner Network Television proudly presents the Goodwill Games.
Jeff Dedman on to pitch for Atlanta. He's 3-3, a 3.14 in run average. Runner at second, nobody out. Wallach, Galarraga, and Fitzgerald, the next three. Wallach has flied to right, walked and scored. Breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Zane went 4+, allowed 9 hits, 7 runs, struck out 3, walked 2. Look out, lined into the dugout where it rattles around down there. Let's see if everybody's all right. Everybody's okay. Got in there and looked like a pinball. On 3 pitches, Wallach is out of there. First out of the inning.
He thought it was low. Strike 3 call.
Tell you how bad things are going today, and even the ice cream doesn't taste good. Here's Galarraga. He has struck out twice.
I was going to mention the ice cream was peachy.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
You didn't like that. Runner is now at third with 1 out.
Let's see. That should have been caught. Pass ball.
Wonder if he was crossed up. I guess not. No visit to the mount. Just let it get away. Infield comes in again, so Galarraga gets a break. Whoa, he hit him in the head. Or the bat, but I think the helmet.
It was the batting helmet. I don't believe he was throwing at him, really. I think it was a backup. I think it was a backed-up curveball, although they're accusing Dedman of throwing at him. You know, he's got that knuckle curve. And when it was going up toward the plate, that's what I thought it was.
More importantly right now, Galarraga appears to be conscious. Thank goodness for those helmets, but he is shaken here.
Let's see.
Got him right on the back of the helmet.
He's sitting up now, and he's going to be okay.
They're checking his eyes to make sure he has not suffered a concussion.
You see the pitch going up, and now it's coming down. This is why I think it was a knuckle curve rather than a fastball. This fastball has got movement the other way, like an in-shoot. Nonetheless, he was hurt, and I don't think they're going to take any chance with him. Galarraga probably wants to stay in the game, but he will not stay. Let's take another look. Now watch this pitch. You see the arc of it? I just don't think that Dedman hit him with a fastball. But he was warned. They're saying it was a knockdown, and I could be wrong because the umpire is closer, and he might feel that Dedman was throwing at him. But I say, my opinion, he wasn't throwing at him with a runner at third.
Yeah, I don't think if anybody in that Montreal dugout thought he was throwing at him, they'd have been out there, wouldn't they? Nobody made a move.
Yeah, I think.
In fact, Buck Rogers came out now and talked with Doug Harvey.
Yeah. If he didn't have that knuckle curve, then I would say something. But once in a while, I've seen that pitch get away from him, and and go right at the batter.
Kremschicki will pinch run for Colorado. Wayne Kremschicki, and he will play first base.
Of course, the umpire thinking, and they've been around too, that the Braves pitching has been hammered here with a couple of home runs and 9 hits. But I'll stick with my story.
Yeah, no doubt that Zane Smith zipped one in on Hubie Brooks, didn't throw at him, but moved him off the plate with a fastball under his chin. But why you would try to hit somebody with a curveball, I don't know. First and third, 1 out. Mike Fitzgerald will be the batter. It has been another unpleasant day for Braves fans. Didn't get the curve, 0-1.
Come on, Jeff, go get him now.
Pete Van Wieren, John Sterling will join you after this half inning. Little tap to third, Oberkfell to second, out there, and that's all they can get. Kremschicki did a good job of trying to tangle up Hubbard, but it wasn't a double play ball anyway. Brooks has scored. It's 8-2. Fitzgerald drives in his second run of the day. His 7th in the last 3 days.
That was Fitzgerald's 35th RBI of the year. That's a career high.
Here's Newman, who homered his last time. Zane Smith gave up 2 home runs today. He had given up only 1 all year in 133 innings coming into this. One of them to this guy is first in the major leagues.
Show you how trades can help later. Fitzgerald with that RBI, that's an all-time high for him in the major leagues, 35 this year, and he's coming into his own now as a catcher, and he didn't do too much when they first got him from New York.
Two balls and a strike to count on Newman. 2 out here, but 4 more runs have scored. It's an 8-2 Montreal lead. Thomas can't get there. Fitzgerald will stop at second. And the hits just keep on coming. That's number 10 for the Expos. In this 4-game series now. .46 hits.
And when they're hot like that, it doesn't make any difference if Grover Cleveland went out there. They're just going to hit you.
All the runs are charged to Zane Smith. He went 4 innings, allowed 8 runs, 9 hits, struck out 3, walked 2, threw 2 home run balls. Two 2-0 the count to the pitcher. Andy McGaffigan is the 9th man to bat in the inning.
But with all this, the Braves got some thinking to do about their middle relief pitching. Happened yesterday and the day before. They made these deals that we've been talking about because obviously Bobby Cox and Chuck Tanner feel that the pitching hasn't been very good in the middle, and if they're going to try to make a run at this, they need all the pitching they can get.
Off the glove of Horner into short right. A runner races for the plate, and he will score, and they're at first and third, and even the pitcher is in on the act. It's 9-2.
Thought the captain was going to make this play. Scooted off his glove. Let's see how they score it.
It's a hit and an RBI. And Mitch Webster is up again, the 10th man to bat in the inning. That makes it 10. McGaffigan races for third. They got a shot at him. Nope. Second and third. It's 10-2. It's a single for Webster. He takes second on the throw to the plate.
They get a guy in scoring position. There's the base hit. Murphy up with the ball. No, he had a chance at third, but McGaffigan just beat it.
We're liable to see Ted Simmons pitching in this thing before it's over. I'm serious, as depleted as the Braves bullpen is. A 6-run inning, and they've got 2 more in scoring position. George Wright is the batter. Until this inning, he was 0 for 2. He doubled in the first run of the frame.
Well, this might be a record, really. I wonder when the last time Braves teams gave up 10 or more runs in 3 consecutive games. That's what's happened in these last 3 games.
Remember 1981, right before the strike in Montreal? Pete and I were talking about this yesterday. Braves were outscored 30-3. I don't know if it was 10 in each game, but
10 today so far, 12 yesterday, 11 the day before. And this game's only half over. It has been a tough weekend for Braves and their fans.
2 balls and a strike. If the State Department banned the boxers from going to Russia, couldn't they ban the Expos from coming into Atlanta?
Yeah. Well, I guarantee you, they're not going to come back in this year again. Your final visit.
The 3-1. Another rope. Foul.
Well, if the government was going to ban the Expos, they would wait to the day before they were going to get here.
I wish they'd have done that. I guess they didn't think of it.
Yeah. As they did the boxers.
Should take them a lot longer to get a tax proposal through than it did to do that, huh?
That egg on the face, that egg is on the face of the government in this particular case, folks.
3-2.
Those boxers have been training for a year to fight. Everybody knew about it. And the reason given is that the government doesn't want to be involved in anything commercial. And they say, how many movies have you seen? With the help of the U.S. Marine Corps, this movie was possible.
That's going to make the seats. And the agony continues here.
I enjoyed Bob Wessler's comments today. I think Bob hit him right on the nose with the comments about the fighters, boxers from the Army not being able to participate.
Even, you know, if the government makes that decision, that's their privilege, but to wait until 2 days before the kids are supposed to leave, that's cruel. One
officer, 33 years old, was over to be in another event, made the trip over to Russia, and then was told that he couldn't participate.
Got it. The inning is finally over, but 6-run score on 7 hits. 1 error was charged. 2 runners were left. Well, let's see what Pete and John could do, folks. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The score: Montreal 10, Atlanta 2.
Delta professionals always make you feel like you're on top of the world. Delta gets you there.
The Eastman Kodak Company judges major photo labs on their quality of color processing.
I think we have one.
Nice contrast, but is the color true?
Yet only a few meet Kodak's high standards.
Bring out the determining factor.
These labs receive the Kodak Color Watch seal. One superior photo lab is Eckerd Drugs.
Right on the money.
And it's Eckerd?
Eckerd.
For color processing that impresses even Kodak, look for the Color Watch seal at Eckerd Drugs.
I've always been afraid of 2 things, flying and good cameras. But with this Canon T70, I'm not afraid. This push-button T70 is so easy to use, I can even get the tough shots, like backlit shots. Stop! Take action shots. Bang! I can even use the zoom. Boom!
The Canon T70, so advanced it makes the tough shots simple.
I'm fearless now. Ooh.
Enter the Canon photo contest and win an adventure trip on the Salmon River. Details at Canon dealers.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you in part by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Braves fan, that ain't none too pretty. Montreal has hit nothing but line drive after line drive after line drive the past 3 days. They have just obliterated the Braves pitching staff. Wayne Krenchicki, who went in to run for Galarraga after he was hit with the Dedman pitch, was playing first. And we go to the bottom half of the fifth. Pete Van Weer and John Sterling with you now on Braves television. And the Braves need one whale of a comeback. Virgil hops it up. Fitzgerald back to the screen, and it goes just over the screen into the first row. We had counted up over on the radio side sometime during that inning, this is not complete, that the Expos had had 31 runs, 39 hits, and 17 extra base hits in the last 3 games. That has gone up by a couple in each category. The Braves runs today, 2 bases empty home runs by Bob Horner in the 2nd and 4th. But they have been mildly overshadowed by Montreal. Expos on a tear. Andy McGaffigan, a very rich man. He has an 8-run lead. That pitch eludes Fitzgerald in the count 1-1. George Wright just can't get it. Goes by his glove. Virgil will coast in the second with a double. Hit hard. Wright looked like he had a beat on the ball, but it flew past him. We talked about it before. Virgil hits the ball so very hard.
This ball just took off after it left the bat. It looked for a moment like George Wright might have a play on it, but it just kept on sailing and sailed right past him. Well, maybe that'll get something started. Boy, it's been a long 3 days.
Seems like about a week. Here's Glenn Hubbard, who hit a fly ball to center his first time.
Well, the Phillies scored 8 runs in 1 inning today. Maybe the Braves can do the same here.
I'm all for it. Jeff Dedman on deck. There is no warm-up activity in the Braves bullpen. Braves playing with 2 pitchers short. That pitch down low, ball 1. Doyle Alexander and Jim Acker will join the Braves in Philadelphia. Steve Shields has been sent down. Joe Johnson, Dwayne Ward going on over to Toronto. As the breaking ball up high, 2-0. So Dedman will pitch a couple more innings. And the Braves a little short in the bullpen. It'll be a 2-0 to Glenn. Fastball low in the strike zone, 3-0. Just as I gave that little talk, now the Braves bullpen is going to get busy. Ed Olwine's going to warm up. The 3-0 fastball through there for a strike. There's Ed in the Braves bullpen. He also pitched in yesterday's game. Line drive. Base hit. It's fair ball. Virgil scores. Hubbard stops at second. Back-to-back doubles, and it's 10-3.
This ball just did stay fair. It was hooking from the moment it left Glenn Hubbard's bat. And it was fair only by an inch or 2. The Braves will take it. Hubbard drives in his 26th run of the year. That makes it 10-3.
In television, we sit on the first base side of the plate and have a great angle down that line. That ball was curving, and it landed just on the fair side of the chalk mark. Well, Jeff Dedman will hit for himself, and Ed Olwine sits down. Dedman will bunt. Wallach makes the play. A low throw by Tim Wallach. And Wayne Krenchicki could not scoop it up. Wallach, normally a great fielding third baseman, threw it badly.
He didn't get much on the throw. Whether he did that intentionally or not, we can't tell until we look at the replay. No, he was throwing off the wrong foot. That's the reason for it. And he threw the one hopper over there, which couldn't be handled by Krenchicki.
It should be a sacrifice for Dedman. And an error on the third baseman, E5.
Wallach hurt himself in that play.
You know, when Wallach came in to get the ball, Pete, I didn't think there was any chance he is that good at third baseman, but he threw it low, and Kranchicki fumbled the scoop. He didn't have to drop the ball. He was just fumbling it, so he would have been safe anyway.
See if we can tell what happened to Tim Wallach here. He's all right. He's going to stay in the ball game. Very awkward throw off the back foot. Might have strained a back or a leg.
Kranchicki trying to hang on to it, was unable to. The error goes to Wallach.
So the Braves keep Dedman in the game, and he reaches base anyway, and the Braves have first and third, no one out, and Atlanta trailing by 7 runs needs to get 3 or 4 more runs and get back in this ball game. And you want to get back in the game against Montreal before the late innings, because they have some great pitchers in the bullpen. Jeff Reardon and Tim Burke especially, and a pretty good lefty named Bob McClure. Here's Marino. Soft fly down the right field line. On the run is Dawson. He makes the catch. He draws the throw. No one's going to come in against Dawson, and the Braves have first and third.
Well,
Marino broke the bat, and I don't know where the other half of the bat went.
Well, the other half of it went right into the front row next to the Atlanta dugout, and a fan got hurt.
How many times have we seen that this year? More so than you'd see in years. The bat broke in half, and the barrel end went into Ted Turner's box. And that's awful. That's just too bad.
It really is. The bat's going to be sawed right in half here. And the fat end of the bat just flies right over toward the Atlanta dugout. And the fans who are seated in Ted Turner's box are seated so close to the playing field, they just had no time to react. And a woman seated down there in the front row got hit. Trainer Dave Pursley coming out of the Braves dugout to assist.
We have seen that really 2 or 3 or 4 times this year. I can recall 3 times for sure, probably more than that. The bat's breaking in half and someone in the front row getting a bat. Braves have first and third, one out. Here's the pitch to Oberkfell. Line drive. It's a base hit left field. Dedman stops at second. An RBI single for Oberkfell, and it's a 10-4 ball game.
Braves have been getting some pretty good swings this inning against Andy McGaffigan. Jumping on the first pitch, Oberkfell picked out a fastball, went the other way with it. He drives in his 30th run of the year. Still only 1 out in the inning.
Meanwhile, Braves trainer Dave Pursley still assisting the lady in the front row box. They brought some ice down. Now here's Murph. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 5th, now 10-4. The curveball eludes Murph. He struck out on that same curveball last time up. Bob Horner on deck. You know, the long ball now from Murphy or Horner, and it's a ball game once again. Montreal leading at 10-4. The fastball into the knees on the inside corner. That's a good pitch by McGaffigan. The count 0-2. Braves have 2 on with 1 out. Got Jeff Dedman at second base, and Ken Oberkfell, whose base hit just scored Hubbard at first base. The 0-2 just missed the outside corner, 1-2. A couple of years ago, Murph had a field day against McGaffigan. He hit 4 home runs in 1 year off him. Today, though, Dale has grounded into a double play and struck out. Runners take their lead with 1 out in the 5th. That's right to Newman. No double play. They just missed getting the double play. Murph hit it hard, shooting to the opposite field, but the ball, unfortunately for the Braves, went right at the second baseman, Al Newman.
Pretty good base running down at second by Jeff Dedman. Pitchers aren't used to being on base. Don't get a chance to run the bases very often. Dedman, as soon as that ball was caught, began immediately back toward the bag, and he got there just before the throw back to Hubie Brooks to stay out of a double play.
Well, now here's Bob Horner, who has homered twice. He hit a line drive home run fairly well down the left field line his first time up, but his next home run was a rocket off the top of the scoreboard in left center. And the ball flew out of the ballpark in a very short time. 2 for 2, 2 homers. Trying for number 3, and he fouls it back. Horner now has 15 on the year to lead the Braves, and 51 RBIs. That also leads the Braves. It'll be an 0-1. The curveball has no bite, stays upstairs, 1-1. Montreal begins to get their bullpen busy. They've had a vacation. Neither Tim Burke nor Jeff Reardon has been used in this series.
And that's Burke warming up now.
And he's awfully good pitcher, sink a baller. It'll be a 1-1. 2-1. Ken Griffey on deck. Horner having a great first half. He might have an even better second half with a professional hitter like Ken Griffey hitting behind him. Braves have used everyone in the number 5 slot without much success. The curveball bends outside, 3-1. Horner does not have to look at Russ Nixon. He's swinging if he likes it. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs and 2 on. The Braves trailing 10-4 in the bottom of the 5th. Curveball. Oh, it's just foul. Well, it's a different inning, Peter. If Murphy's line drive goes anywhere but at Newman and that line drive stays fair, that was really hit.
Didn't miss being a double by much. That pitch was coming in on Horner, and he pulled it just a little bit too much.
You see what Horner did, how he opened himself up? He opened his front foot up to give himself some hitting room, and he got the barrel of the bat out ahead, which is what you're supposed to do. He's a terrific hitter. Of course, not too many people that strong as Bob Horner. They're taking that gal off who was hit, and hopefully she's going to be 100%. Holding a towel to her face. Now the 3-1. To deep left field. It is gone. It is gone. It is gone. Straight home run.
And stay tuned, folks. This is only the 5th inning. It's a 10-7 ball game. Horner now with 16 homers on the season and 54 RBIs. 3 home runs in the ball game for Horner. And it's only the 5th inning.
Unless we forget it, in light of Horner's great afternoon, the Braves have scored 5 runs and now trail 10-7 in the game. Horner has hit 3 dingers as he and Simmons try to knock each other's palms off in the dugout. 3 homers for Horner. The Braves have scored 5, and Andy McGaffigan cannot get the win. He gets relieved by right-handed Tim Burke, and we'll get back and see if the Braves can climb all the way back right after this.
You've just unchained your new Toyota 4x4. You've turned loose 135 horses of pure turbo power with high running ground clearance and independent front suspension. So when you get it home, maybe you better cage it. Toyota 4x4s, starting at $89.98. Are the #1 selling compact 4x4 trucks in America. Who could ask for anything more?
Give me a light. Bud Light. Oh, but chilly.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light. No, Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
You'll find the summer savings absolutely refreshing at True Value hardware stores. Like a Sunbeam dual-burner gas grill with light-o-matic ignition for fast, easy starts. And relax with sturdy Almet Lawn Light Web furniture that's comfortable and lightweight. Save big with a handy True Value 12-quart cooler and matching 1/2-gallon jug, only $9.99. And light up the pool or patio for entertaining with Tonga torches from Tiki. Available at most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Here's Ken Griffey against Tim Burke. Bob Horner becomes the first Brave since Dale Murphy on May 18th, 1979 to hit 3 homers in the game. Griffey takes the pitch inside, ball 1. Well, the Braves are right back in the game. The Braves have scored 5 in the 5th. They trail 10-7.
And the story of this one is going to be Bob Horner the rest of the way. He'll get at least 1, maybe 2 more at-bats, trying to tie the Major League record of 4 homers in 1 game.
Line drive, Griffey, late field, base hit in front of Dawson. Griffey gets his second hit of the day. In the bottom of the 5th, Virgil doubled, Hubbard doubled, Dedman sacrificed and reached down the arrow by Wallach. Marino hit a short fly to right field. Then Obergefell single. Murphy lined out a hard line drive at second baseman Al Newman. Horner hit that phenomenal 3-run home run, his 3rd straight home run of the day. Now Griffey the base hit. Here's Andres Thomas. Griffey is going. Ground ball, just foul down the third baseline. And the count 0-1.
What were you saying about Montreal hitting some line drives a little while ago?
Oh, yeah, over on the radio side, they were hitting shot after shot. And also about the Braves needing the long ball with someone on to get back in the game. And they're in the game. It's 10-7 now. How about Andy McGaffigan taking a 10-2 lead in the bottom of the 5th? And he couldn't get the 3 outs he needed for the win. When you have a 10-2 lead, that win is in your hip pocket. Griffey fakes going, and time is finally called. Now, Bob Horner now ties Mike Schmidt for 2nd place in the league with 16 homers. Tied for 1st, Mike Marshall of L.A. and Glenn Davis of Houston. And Horner now has 54 RBIs. That's good for 3rd in the league. Behind Schmidt's 57, Gary Carter's 56. 1-1 on Thomas. In the last 2 innings, the Braves have scored 6 runs and Montreal has scored 9. 15 runs in 2 innings. My goodness, what is going on here? Tim Burke, the 1-1. Outside 2-1. Burke has had another terrific year. Last year, he was the surprise of the Expos, non-roster player making it. This year, he's the setup man out of Jeff Reardon. He's 5-2, an ERA of 1.92. This is 42nd appearance, all in relief. There goes Griffey, the 2-1. Swung on and missed. The throw is not in time. Ken Griffey steals 2nd.
That's his first stolen base as a Brave. He got a pretty good jump. Fitzgerald made a pretty good throw. It's a close play down at second base. And Griffey slides in just ahead of the tag attempt.
We've got a wild one here at the stadium in Atlanta, and we're only half through. Thomas has a 2-2 count. Now Griffey at second base. Base it means another run. Braves down 10-2 going into the inning. Now trail 10-7. The curveball bends outside. Did he go after it? No, says Eric Gregg. They check Big Eric down at first base. The count goes full 3-2.
Well, you be the umpire here. Did he go? Whoops. Braves might have gotten a break on that call.
I think so, too. Griffey has a pretty good lead. Same pitch. He struck out on the curveball way off the plate. However, the Braves do rally for 5 runs on 1-2. 5 hits. 5 runs on 5 hits and leave 1 Montreal error. And at the end of 5 innings of play, Montreal 10 and the Braves 7.
This is the place where the work gets done. Work, that's the measure of a man. This is the home of America's best. This is the home of America's best. This is Red Man Land. Red Man Land. Red Man Land.
I don't think anyone can beat CNN for continuous live coverage.
Roger, roll, Challenger.
We were the only network that had it live. We stayed with the story. We never left it.
These people were the real things. They were genuine heroes.
Our viewers know that when anything happens, click. Turn us on, we're there. Whatever we know, they will know instantly.
Monday, the Goodwill Games continue with live track and field. Who will sprint to the gold in the men's 200-meter dash? The USA's best explode out of the blocks in the 400-meter dash. The swimming events conclude with the 100-meter freestyle and more. Plus, the U.S. women's volleyball squad clashes with Cuba. Find out who's the world's greatest athlete when the decathlon concludes and the U.S. women meet Czechoslovakia under the hoop. The Goodwill Games at noon at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Superstation, Monday.
Meet the Stewarts, Jessica, Robbie, and Cindy on Rocky Road, one of America's funniest families. 5:30 Eastern on the Superstation, weekdays.
Andre Dawson leads off for Montreal in the top of the 6th. Pete Van Weer and John Sterling with you from Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. And we have a wild one going. Montreal leads at 10-7, 10-12-1 for the Expos, 7-9-1 for the Braves, a game that's had 5 home runs.
Just a routine ball game, 17 runs and 21 hits and a couple of errors and a hit batsman in 5 innings.
We now go to the 6th. Devon's curveball outside. Montreal sent up 11 men last inning. And here is Dawson hitting for the 4th time in the game here in the top of the 6th. It's kind of a game within a game now. Bob Horner has hit 3 straight home runs, and he'll get at least 1 more time at bat and probably 2 more as he goes for number 4. And of course the Braves trying to get back in this game down by 3. Check swing right over that same area and back in the crowd. Dawson homered his last time at bat. Dawson and Al Newman have home runs. Well, you know, it's a crazy series when Bryn Smith goes into a ball game. What was he, 0 for 29?
0 for 29, yep.
And he gets 3 straight rope hits, including a home run. That was yesterday. And that's fouled off.
Today, Al Newman hits his first homer in 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know if Skip and Ernie talked about that. Al Newman hit a home run for Memphis in 1982. And he had been up at bat about 1,000 times since then without a home run, and he had a 3-run job here today. Here's the 1-2. That's going to carry back deep in the crowd over the Braves dugout. It'll be the middle of the Montreal order, Dawson, Brooks, and Wallach here in the 6th. Now the 1-2. Driven to deep center field, but Murph is there. Now 1 away, and here's the great Montreal shortstop, U.B. Brooks. Ozzie Smith probably will start. I haven't seen the latest tabulations in the All-Star game, but this is the guy who deserves it. You don't find too many shortstops who are hitting .327 with 14 homers and 49 RBIs at the midway point. Obviously, Brooks nor anyone else in the class with Ozzie Smith as a defensive shortstop. UB's a pretty good one and having a fabulous year offensively. He drove in 100 runs last year. 1-1. 2 as Brooks went fishing for the curveball. You get the feeling that Pete Van Wieren feels that the offense is going to continue in this game because he has brought out his big Sporting News complete baseball record book just in case.
Well, we're going to have a couple of cracks at records before this game is through. We know that for sure with Horner.
That's up the middle. Andres Thomas. He made the play. And Hubie Brooks throws his helmet. Ron Hansen really arguing with Eric Gregg. It was a bang-bang play.
Thomas with another brilliant fielding play near the bag at second. He has a strong throwing arm. And the bang-bang play at first. The call made by Eric Gregg calling Hubie Brooks out. Ron Hansen didn't think so. Hubie didn't think so. Obviously, Buck Rogers didn't either. We'll take a look at this replay. Oh, he was safe.
You know, honestly, I thought he was safe on the play. It really looked like he was safe. We'll take another look at it, but it really looked like he crossed the bag.
Yeah, I'm afraid the Expos have a pretty good point here. The fans are unhappy with the argument continuing, but he was safe by at least a half a step. Buck Rogers has been thrown out of the game.
Well, Buck Rogers is going to get his money's worth. He has been tossed. I guess Hubie Brooks will get fined for tossing the helmet. But however, they were right. Montreal was right. He was safe. Look at this play again. Now watch Hubie go across the bag before Horner makes contact.
He beats it easily. There's no question that he beat the throw to first. So Brooks and Hansen and Rogers all had a legitimate beef. And for Buck Rogers, he will now join Andy McGaffigan in the Montreal clubhouse. And this routine afternoon of baseball continues.
We got a wild one at the ballpark. Marlin. It is 10-7 Montreal with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. So Buck Rogers is gone. And Larry Poncino, the rookie umpire, is waiting for him to go. Now Buck Rogers is really giving it to the crew chief, Doug Harvey, at third base. So is Hubie Brooks as we peer into the Montreal dugout. But they go down the tunnel that leads to the clubhouse, and we're all set to go. Here's Tim Wallach with 2 outs, bases empty. 10-7 Montreal, top of the 6th. And the curveball outside, ball 1.
You know, the fans that are at the ballpark today are really getting their money's worth. We've had a little bit of everything. Arguments, home runs, a lot of runs scoring. There have been a couple of missed plays in the field. There have been some great plays in the field. A player got hit, not hurt seriously.
Actually, I disagree with you. We've had a lot of everything. We're only in the top of the 6th. It'll be a 2-0 pitch coming up to Tim Wallach. And Bob Horner will shoot for a 4th home run today. That'd be something. That's cut on a miss. I have never seen a player get 4 home runs in one game. Have you?
I have not either. I know Ernie has.
I know Ernie has, too. The reason is Ernie Johnson gave up the 4th home run at Colavito in Baltimore years ago. Last line foul by Wallach.
I'll tell you what I did see once in the minor leagues when I was a youngster growing up in Rochester, New York. I saw Boog Powell hit 5 home runs in a doubleheader.
Wow.
That's when they played a 7-inning second game after a 9-inning first game.
Debman getting ready with the 2-2 to Wallach. Montreal 10-7, top of the 6th. There are 2 outs. The fastball missed, and the count goes full 3-2.
I'll tell you something. If Bob Horner does connect one more time for 4 home runs, Ernie Johnson may be the only person in history to see it done twice.
Yeah, you don't see it happen very often. Wallach takes it inside. You know, if you ask someone who was the last guy to do that, you'd have to stop and think about it. I think it was Mike Schmidt. You think so? In Chicago, in that wild game Philadelphia played about 5, 7, 8 years ago. Boy, the time goes by so fast. It may have been more than 5 years ago. Well,
I'll look look it up in my record book.
I knew he had that record book out for a reason. It's a monster. It has to be carried by 3 people.
1976, 10 years ago.
One of us is getting old. That was 10 years ago. My goodness. My goodness gracious. Here's Wayne Krenchicki with Wallach at first base and 2 outs. Galarraga was hit on the side of the helmet by Dedman last time up. He was a little groggy when he got up, so they put Krenchicki in the game. That's hit hard. There's a base hit. Down the right field line, it'll be another extra base hit. Marino boosts the ball around. Wallach is coming around third. They hold him up. It is a stand-up double for Krenchicki. And Montreal with another extra base hit. In the last 3 days, Montreal has either had or they're just about to have 20 extra base hits. That's a lot of doubles, triples, and home runs.
It's the 13th hit of the game for the Expos today for Wayne Krenchicki, his 3rd double of the season. It just did stay fair beyond the sprawling Bob Horner. And Montreal threatening again. Runners 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs for Mike Fitzgerald.
And the Braves are very fortunate. We mentioned about Murphy's line drive going right at Al Newman. Montreal should have had Hubie Brooks at first base. Then the walk and that double by Krenchicki, and Montreal would have been in business again. They would have scored at least 1 more. 2 outs. And the curveball bends outside of Fitzgerald. We'll give you a report on the gal who was injured, and we just hope that she's going to be 100%. We feel very sorry for her. Dedman's pitch now to Fitzgerald. That hit him. That hit him. The runner's coming in from third, but that hit him in the back. Fitzgerald wants Dedman thrown out of the game because this is the second warning. I mean, there had been a warning. This game may go on for a long time. Fitzgerald trots to first base. He's hit by a pitch. That's the second guy Dedman has hit, and the bases are loaded with 2 out.
It's a fastball coming in on Fitzgerald. He is very unhappy. He thinks Dedman did it intentionally. That's the last thing that Dedman wants to do is hit somebody. Now Doug Harvey heading over toward the Montreal dugout. The Expos very upset. They believe Dedman did that intentionally. And 1 warning has already been issued in this game. Stick around, folks.
I think Dedman was trying to brush Galarraga back and hit him. I don't think he was trying to hit Fitzgerald. You'd have to go into Dedman's mind. How can you find out, really? Here's Al Newman now with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Montreal has not scored this inning, thanks to that break for the Braves on that call at first base. There's a hot shot at Thomas to second, and the inning is finally over. For Montreal, no runs on a hit. They leave 3 at the end of 5.5 innings of play. The Expos 10 and the Braves 7.
If you just ask for a light beer, give me a light. You never know what you'll get.
Dogs. No, actually, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light.
Yours?
No, because everything else...
Give me a light. Showtime.
...is just a light.
This is the place where the work gets done. Work, that's the measure of a man. This is the home of America's best. This is the home of America's best. This is Red Man Land. Red Man Land. Red Man Land.
Welcome back to Braves baseball. The Braves weren't able to get anything going in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're going to pick it back up in the top of the 7th. Pete and John with the call.
Paul Ossenmacher comes out of the Braves bullpen. He becomes the 3rd pitcher in back of Jeff Dedman, who relieves Zane Smith. Back in the 5th. Tim Burke, Montreal's second pitch of the day, will lead off the top of the 7th. Through 6, 10-13-1 for Montreal, 7-9-1 for the Braves. 10-7 Expos. We go to the 7th, and here's Pete.
Thank you, John. Burke 0 for 3 on the season, but that kind of stat hasn't been a thing in this series. Bouncing ball right to Glenn Hubbard. And Ossenmacher has the first out in the 7th. Now back to the top of the order, and Mitch Webster. He's had himself quite a day. 4 for 4 with 3 singles and a double. He has scored 1 run, stolen a base, and driven in 2. He began the day hitting .263. He's got the average up to .270. That ball hit deep to left field. Griffey's going to watch this one go way up in the blue seats. Home run, Mitch Webster. He's 5 for 5. And that's his 5th homer of the season. It's 11-7 Montreal.
Well, this is the day that Montreal gave Tim Raines a rest. Montreal has 4 outfielders in their 3 positions, so they can kind of alternate them. Here's the pitch to Webster. And boy, did he get the bat head out in front. And he drove it maybe 10 rows deep into those blue seats. Anyway, the guy is taking Raines' place today. Mitch Webster now has 3 singles, a double, and a home run. 5 for 5 in the leadoff spot.
Now George Wright, who has flied to center, struck out, doubled and struck out again. 1 for 4. Batting for the 5th time. We're only in the 7th inning. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. 11 runs, 14 hits for Montreal. 7 runs, 9 hits for Atlanta. Here's the 0-1. Bounce toward third. Oberkfell fires across to Horner for out number 2. Now Andre Dawson, who has doubled, grounded out, homered, and fly to center. Mitch Webster's 5 hits in 1 game. The first time an Expo has done that since this man did, Andre Dawson, back in June of 1983. One ball, no strikes. The Expos now have 19 extra base hits in the last 3 games. And the count even on Dawson, 1-1. Now the 1-1 on the way, fouled off at the plate, a ball and 2 strikes. Ossenmacher has been the busiest pitcher on the Braves staff. This is his 33rd appearance. When he entered the game, his ERA at 2.17, a record of 3-2 and 7 saves. And the 1-2 pitch coming. 2-2. Dedman worked a couple of innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 2, and hit 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He got him. Dawson down on strikes. Ossenmacher has his first strikeout. But Montreal picks up another run on the Mitch Webster homer. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. It's 11-7 Expos.
When you ride a Snapper high vac, you get a little something extra. The power of a huge vacuum cleaner. Because Snapper's patented deck traps the air, creating a tremendous vacuum that stands grass up for a beautiful clean-cut lawn. And Snapper's high vac makes bagging a snap. Get the incredible Snapper mower. That makes a clean sweep of your lawn. It's a snap with Snapper.
This is the home of the world-famous Clydesdales, a symbol of Budweiser's long tradition of quality, the finest ingredients, beechwood aging, and a special touch of care and pride. No other brewer has such a tradition of quality to live up to. But then, no other brewer makes the king of beers. After all, this Bud's for you.
Now, you too can get VIP treatment and big savings just by carrying the Players Club Go Card. You'll save money on rooms, on top-name entertainment, on food and beverages. And you'll never have to wait in long registration and show lines again. Look, you can stay at some of the finest resorts in the world's most exciting vacation city. Hey, no strings attached to get the club's benefits. You listen to Telly? Call Players Club today.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you in part by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. There's your score, 11-7 Montreal. Moreno, Oberkfell, and Murphy. And if anybody reaches, Bob Horner, who has already hit 3 home runs in the ballgame. Moreno is 0 for 3. He's flying to center, line to short, and flying to right. Trying to bunt his way on, gets it past the mound. Burke will not have a play. Base hit for Moreno. That's hit number 10 of the game for Atlanta.
Here's a great drag bunt by Omar. He doesn't quite get it past the mound. Gets past the mound, it's a base hit every time. Burke was able to field the ball, but his momentum just caused him to topple over. And it's a base hit for Omar. And remember, after Oberkfell come the big guys, Murphy and Horner.
Oberkfell, the batter, he's 2 out of 3 today. 2 singles and a strikeout. He has scored 1 run and driven in 1. His RBI total for the year now at 30. Nobody out here in the 7th. And Burke delivers. Low and inside, ball 1.
A lefty the Braves have never seen, except for spring training, I guess. Bob McClure is warming up in the bullpen. Of course, they might not have ever seen him because he's been with Milwaukee, and they train in Arizona.
Right? 1 ball, no strikes on Oberkfell. Nobody out. Braves down by 4. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That caught the inside corner. It's 1-1. In case you missed the earlier news, the Braves involved in 2 trades since the end of yesterday's game. Doyle Alexander acquired from the Toronto Blue Jays for Dwayne Ward. And then this morning, Jim Acker was acquired from the Toronto Blue Jays for Joe Johnson. Steve Shields has been sent back to Richmond. And the 2 newcomers will join the Braves in Philadelphia. They really are newcomers. Both have pitched with the Braves before. Alexander at the major league level, and Acker came up in the Braves organization.
And, of course, they both pitched for and helped win a division title for the Braves GM, Bobby Cox, last year up in Toronto. So it's kind of old home week.
1-2, the count on Oberkfell. Burke delivers the 1-2 pitch. Almost hit him. Boy, the umpire is really on a spot in a situation like that. 1-2 the count. Montreal feels they've been thrown at a little bit today. The warnings have already been issued. Then it's up to the umpire to judge whether he thinks the pitch is thrown intentionally close. Paid attendance today, 18,153. 18,153. Here's the 2-2 to Oberkfell. Line drive, base hit, right field. Moreno will stop at second. And the Braves are setting the table for the big guys. Murphy, Horner, Griffey. Oberkfell now with 3 hits in the game. 11 hits in the game for Atlanta.
Obi hitting it hard and drilling it past Krenchicki, who makes the dive for it and goes through. Moreno had a hold up, in no sense going to third when you're 4 runs down against a great arm like Andre Dawson. Well, now here's Murph, and then Bob Horner will hope to shoot for his 4th home run of the day. Right now, here's Murph.
Murphy is hit into a double play, struck out and lined out. He's hitless in 3 at-bats. 11-7 Expos, but this one is far from over. Oberkfell and Moreno are your runners. Burke to the belt. Here's his pitch to Murphy. Foul back 0-1. Got to give the Braves credit, even if they don't win this game. They were down by a score of 10-2 in the 5th inning. Jeff Reardon now joins Bob McClure in the Montreal bullpen. But Atlanta rallying for 5 runs in the 5th. Montreal picked up another run in the top of this inning. So now we're in the bottom of the 7th. It's 11-7, and the Braves trying to battle back some more. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball down the third baseline. Foul. 0-2 the count. You're going to hear some noise when Bob Horner steps in. He's on deck. 3 home runs in 3 at-bats today. Nothing and 2, the count on Murphy. Nobody out in the inning. High and deep to left field. Fair or foul? It is a foul ball. Murphy just missed one. The count stays 0-2.
And he is so strong, Murph. You see the swing. He is so strong. He broke his bat. And didn't miss by much. That's why the ball tailed off.
So the count remains 0-2. What a wild ball game this has been. The runners get their leads. Oberkfell off first. Moreno off second. And Burke and Fitzgerald can't get together. Murphy steps out. Here's the check of the runners by Burke. And the 0-2 pitch. Missed outside, 1-2. Braves have only left 2 men on base in this ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just got a piece of the curveball and stays alive with a 1-2 count. Working very slowly as he tries to pitch out of this jam here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. His bullpen is ready if needed. The left-hander Bob McClure and the right-hander Jeff Reardon. Burke ready for a 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Fly ball looped down that right field line in foul territory. Krenchicki gives it a chase but can't get to it. And it stays 1-2. Again get their leads. Oberkfell off first. Moreno off second. Burke pitching very carefully here. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Nobody out. And time called. Murphy steps out. Again, the check of the runners by Tim Burke. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Murphy. The breaking ball just missed. 2-2. There are your runners, Oberkfell and Moreno. Back-to-back singles got the inning started. And now Murphy awaits the 2-2 pitch. It's on the way from Tim Burke. Fouled off at the plate. Still 2-2. Pretty good battle here between 2 fine players. And there's the man who will hit next. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Montreal up by 4. It's funny how the complexion of a game can make a 4-run lead look big if it's a 1-1 ball game and suddenly you score 4. It looks like nothing at all when you've got this kind of game, 11-7. And a couple of runners on base. Here's the 2-2 again to Murphy. Popped it foul, coming back out of play. And the battle continues, still 2-2. You somehow get the feeling that it might take 13 or 14 runs to win this game.
Well, I know the Braves hope that. They are trying to come a long way back, down 10-2 now, 10-7 with 2 on and no one out. In the 7th, everyone's thinking home run, but a base hit or 2 and the Braves are right back in the game.
The runners again lead from first and second. And the 2-2 pitch. Little pop fly to center field. George Wright waiting for it out there. He'll make the catch, and now Bob Horner, who has been up 3 times and has hit 3 homers. He came to the plate in the 2nd inning for the first time against Andy McGaffigan. And did this. Home run number 1 in the 4th inning. Home run number 2 in the 5th inning. The longest home run of them all. 5 RBIs for Bob Horner. 10 players in baseball history have hit 4 homers in 1 game. Mike Schmidt did it last in 1976. That was a 10-inning game. The last guy to do it in a 9-inning game, Willie Mays for the Giants back in 1961. It's a very, very limited list. Bob Lowe, Ed Delahanty, Chuck Klein, Gil Hodges, Joe Adcock, Willie Mays, Mike Schmidt, Lou Gehrig, Pat Siri, Rocky Colavito. The only players to have ever hit 4 homers in a single game, and Bob Horner gets a crack at it right here. First and second with 1 out. Burke delivers. Broke his bat in a little pop-up, foul territory. Who's going to take it? Wayne Kranchicki? He does. For out number 2. The fans give Horner an ovation nonetheless, and he still may get 1 more at bat in this game. So 2 men are out here in the 7th. Burke trying to pitch out of this jab, and Ken Griffey the batter. Griffey has singled twice and grounded out. The runners lead from first and second. Burke delivers. Griffey takes downstairs, ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way to Ken Griffey. Fly ball lifted into deep left field. Mitch Webster drifting back near the warning track. He'll make the catch, and that's a pretty good job of pitching by Tim Burke. After giving up base hits to Moreno and Obergfell, he gets Murphy, Horner, and Griffey, and is out of the inning. Braves strand 2 after 7. It's still 11-7, Montreal.
Nothing makes your day like helping others make it on their own.
You bring out the pride we all feel inside.
It's going to be easy next week.
It's more than just the job you do. You make America work, and this buzz for you.
Good work.
Here's to you, Beechwood Aged, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This buzz for you.
For star-studded showbiz news, turn to CNN Showbiz Today. Exciting places and famous faces.
It's happening on Showbiz Today.
Look for CNN Showbiz Today, weeknights at 6:30 Eastern.
Experience life on CNN.
He was just a shade tree carpenter until the Superstation morning movie made him a hero.
And Monday on the Superstation morning movie, it's brother against brother, and the stakes are high. Robert Stack, Raymond Burr, great day in the morning. Take the challenge, the Superstation morning movie, 10 o'clock Eastern, Monday.
Hey, America, when the Goodwill games are over, don't take your ball and go home. Stick around for Dynamite Movies on Superstar Summer, featuring Yul Brynner, Robert Redford, Don Knotts, John Wayne, Mickey Rooney, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Raquel Welch and Michael York, Paul Newman and Lauren Bacall, Timothy Bottoms and Sybil Shepherd. After the Goodwill games, stick around for Superstar Summer, morning, afternoon, and night on Superstation WTBS.
Welcome back to Braves baseball. Nothing happened in the 8th inning. Montreal didn't score in the top of the 9th. We're going to end the game picking it up in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Bob Horner with an at-bat.
Here we go, bottom half of the 9th inning. Braves 4 runs down. Jeff Reardon trying to save it for Tim Burke. And Ken Oberkfell leads off in the 9th. Murphy will follow, and then Bob Horner, who has hit 3 homers in the game. Oberkfell 3 for 4 today, 3 singles. He has scored 1, driven in 1. Fouls this one off. Obi's batting average back up over 300. He's got to be considered when Whitey Herzog decides who to put on that all-star squad. The 0-1 pitch. High 1-1. The Braves will probably have 1 starter, and that'll be Dale Murphy. At last report, he was number 2 in the National League All-Star voting in the outfield. Today, by the way, is the final day of voting by the fans. And during the next week, we'll find out who will be playing in this year's Classic at the Astrodome in Houston. A ball and 2 strikes on Oberkfell. Reardon deals. Lined up the middle. Ken Oberkfell has his 4th hit. That's hit number 13 for Atlanta. And the Braves are going to try to give him a finish here. Dale Murphy, the batter. Murphy hitless today in 4 at-bats, hit into a double play in the 1st inning. Struck out in the 4th, lined out in the 5th, flied out in the 7th. Reardon delivers. A strike at the knees, 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch coming, and that missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Check swing, tap toward third. Wallach goes to second, 1. Newman on to first. Double play. It goes 5-4-3, so now there are 2 outs in the inning with the bases empty. But nobody's going anywhere because here comes Bob Horner. 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats. He came up again in the 7th inning and fouled out to first. Only 10 players have ever hit 4 in 1 game. That's one of baseball's most coveted records. There are 2 outs in the 9th inning. Reardon delivers. There's a fly ball deep left center field. Right looking up. He did it. He did it. Bob Horner has become the 11th player in baseball history to hit 4 homers in 1 game. It's 11-8. And he'll have to make at least 1 curtain call here, maybe more than 1. He got a breaking ball and becomes the 11th player in Major League history to hit 4 homers in 1 game. His name is in the record books. 6 RBIs on the day for Horner. He now has 17 home runs and 55 RBIs. Mike Schmidt, the last to do it in 1976. That was a 10-inning game. The last guy to do it in a 9-inning game, Willie Mays, in 1961. Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on Griffey. Griffey 2 out of 4 today. Horner now tied for the National League home run lead. 4 home runs in 1 ball game. And it still may not be enough to lead the Braves to a victory. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Line drive right field. Dawson coming on. There's your ball game. Well, we saw a Major League record tied here by Braves first baseman Bob Horner, but Montreal wins it. Final score 11-8. We'll be back with the totals right after this.
It takes know-how and time and more than a little pride to turn an idea into a premium quality product. There's no better example than our premium plug. And now, our new Taylor's Pride Leaf Chewing Tobacco. It's made from hand-selected tobaccos, and the choicest flavorings blended just right. So taste the premium quality in new Taylor's Pride Leaf.
Spraying for bugs and pests will kill them, but others will probably return. Rodent traps usually work, but you have to dispose of them, and others are almost sure to come back again and again. But there's no need to take such drastic measures to rid your home or office of bugs and pests. Now there's Super Bug Away. Super Bug Away emits powerful ultrasonic and scientifically proven sound waves which cause pain and discomfort to the nervous system of bugs and pests, forcing them to flee your home for good. Super Bug Away is 100% electronic, but its ultrasonic waves cannot be heard by humans or household pets, except hamsters, gerbils, and mice. Say goodbye to deadly sprays, bug bombs, rodent traps, costly exterminator visits, poisonous powders, and roach traps, which can be harmful to your family and pets and to your pocketbook. Think of how much money you can save with Super Bug Away. And Super Bug Away comes with a money-back guarantee. So order now.
Call toll-free 1-800-257-1234 to save COD charges. Use your credit card or send check or money order for $29.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to Super Bug Away, P.O. Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Hey, America, when the Goodwill games are over, don't take your ball and go home. Stick around for Dynamite Movies on Superstar Summer, featuring Yul Brynner, Robert Redford, Don Knotts, John Wayne, Mickey Rooney, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Raquel Welch and Michael York, Paul Newman and Lauren Bacall, Timothy Bottoms and Sybil Shepherd. After the Goodwill games, stick around for Superstar Summer, morning, afternoon, and night on Superstation WTBS.
Well, it has been quite a day at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, 18,000 plus on hand, and what a game they saw. Montreal winning it, 11 runs, 16 hits, 1 error. The Expos left 10. For Atlanta, 8 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, and the Braves left 6. The winning pitcher is Tim Burke. He's now 6-2. Jeff Reardon gets the save, his 19th. The losing pitcher is Zane Smith. He is 7-9. The story of the game, and unfortunately it takes place in a Braves loss, but Bob Horner becomes just the 11th man in the history of baseball to hit 4 home runs in a single game, and he's now tied for the National League lead with 17. So the Braves now back to just 1 game over 500. We're at the halfway point of the season now. Atlanta 41-40. Coming up next, more Goodwill games coverage from Madrid, Spain, and from Moscow, and we hope you'll enjoy it on the Superstation. Now, along with Skip Carey, Ernie Johnson, John Sterling, and our entire TBS crew, this is Pete Van Weren speaking from Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, where your final score today was Montreal 11, Atlanta 8. Good night, everyone.
Superstation WTBS has presented in stereo America's team, the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves baseball has been brought to you by Bud Light, the light beer with the first name in taste. Everything else is just a light. By Delta, the official airline of the Atlanta Braves. Delta gets you there. By the Coca-Cola Company and your local bottler of Coke and Coca-Cola Classic. By your Toyota dealer and the Toyota Celica. Performance and style that'll make you look real good. Who could ask for anything more? And by Canon. So advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. By CNN, the world's most important network, and a proud sponsor of the 1986 Goodwill Games. And by Headline News, around the world every 30 minutes. Atlanta Braves baseball is a production of TBS Sports.
Stay with the Superstation. Next, the Goodwill Games continue with day 1 of the Decathlon and Men's World Championship Basketball. The Goodwill Games are next.
He was there to put her arms around the poor. She was there when our children hugged the shore. She was there.